Hey everybody out there in YouTube land, welcome back to Diego Knows. I'm Diego, and we're going to talk some more about Sex and the City. That's right, the Sex and the City movie, that wonderful show from the late 90s, early 2000s. I'm Diego. I have reviewed every single episode of Sex and the City. That's right, they're all on here. Check them out if you want. And I reviewed that piece of shit show on Just Like Crap. Do not watch it. That show sucks. It's a fucking abortion. And I'm not talking about like sterilized clinic or nothing. I'm talking about like fucking back alleys and coat hangers. That's what that was, okay? But we're not talking about that. We're going to talk about the movie, Sex and the City. Now, this is part 4 of my review because I'm gonna take as many parts as I can. I'm going to break down the entire fucking movie, okay, and give you a straight man's point of view because that's what I do here. I'm going to tell you what your dad didn't tell you, what your husband didn't tell you, what your boyfriend didn't tell you. I'm going to tell you I got nothing to gain by lying to you. I'm going to tell you the honest to God truth whether you like it or not. Straight up, baby, with no lube. No lube. The real question is, can you handle it? Can you handle it? I don't think you can. Honestly, I don't think you can. I don't. We'll see though, won't we? Yes, we will. Okay, so where I left off while we're reviewing the movie, like I said, this is part 4, is Carrie got summoned to Vogue magazine. Ooh, yeah, because remember, she did freelance work for Vogue. And her editor there was named Enid. Enid Frick, played by Candice Bergen. And Candice Bergen uses Carrie to hook her up with guys. Yeah, I know, right? Talk about abuse of power, right? Well, she does. She does that because she can't find a guy. She's lonely. She does these couple parties, but she's got no couple. So she tells Carrie to hook her up with some guys. Okay, anyway, so she goes there and she tells Carrie that she wants her to do their annual age issue. She wants Carrie to be the subject of it. So instead of reporting on a story for an age story for Vogue magazine, she wants to be the story for Vogue magazine. So hey, you're 40, and here's the twist: you're getting married. Which is like, apparently, like in the Vogue, and the people that read Vogue magazine, I don't read Vogue because I don't have a vagina and I'm not fucking gay, okay? But apparently, the people that read Vogue, once you hit 40, it's like, I mean, getting married at 40 and above 40, after 40, is like fucking catching Bigfoot, okay? It just doesn't fucking happen, all right? So Carrie's there to prove everyone wrong that you can find happiness after 40. That's what the newspaper article said. So that got Vogue's attention, so they want Carrie to do a special issue. Now, she's reluctant, resistant, which is bullshit. And Enid calls her out, and don't give me any of this faux fucking soul searching. Just say yes right now. Come on, we're going to have Vogue photographers there. You're going to wear designer dresses. You're going to have Vogue airbrushers there. Okay, the whole fucking world is going to see this article. They're going to see you. We're going to make sure you look good. Okay, hawking all these fucking expensive dresses. So just fucking say yes. I already know you're going to do it, but for formality's reason, I got to fucking ask you. Okay, and of course she's going to say yes to that. Who wouldn't, right? So that's going on here. So she decides to do it. And then it says, we're going to call it The Last Single Girl. That's going to be the title of this article. And she says, I'm hardly the last single girl. And she says, no, but 40 is the last age a woman can be photographed in a wedding gown without the unintended Diane Arbus subtext, okay? Now, she got a name drop, Diane Arbus, okay? For those of you who do not know who Diane Arbus is, okay, I know who she is because I went to art school, but also because I'm a big fan of fucking Spider-Man. And her husband, I forgot his name, her husband, Alan Arbus. It was her. He was an actor too, okay. And they're Jewish. That was her boyfriend since high school. Was Alan Arbus, okay. So they're boyfriends since they were fucking 14 years old. They got married after high school. They're both Jewish. They both got well educated in New York. They both grew up in Manhattan. Rich fucking Jewish families, okay. They got married. She got into photography, okay, whatever. They separated. They still stayed married for 10 years, even though they were separated. She started dating some married guy named Martin Israel. He never left his wife for her, but that was her fucking monogamous relation. Anyway, what she did, she was like a hippie before it was cool. So in the early 60s, she would take pictures of people in New York. She only really photographed like people that were handicapped or covered in tattoos, a lot of gay people, a lot of transgendered people back when they were still called transvestites. Like I said, a lot of gay people, a lot of homeless people, okay, a lot of amputees from like Vietnam, that kind of thing. That's what she did. So basically everything that today is celebrated in liberal culture, you know, interracial relationships, homosexual relationships, all that kind of stuff, you know, tattoos, all that stuff. Like, I mean, it's common today, but back then it wasn't. Back then it was very nuanced. Okay, very avant-garde back in the early 60s. She took pictures of all that shit, okay? Drug dealers, fucking homeless people, all that kind of, she took pictures of all that in black and white. And that built her brand. Okay, she was known for that. Okay, for the fucking hippie culture that she was a part of in the 60s, trying to push that progressivism, that counterculture. She was one of the tip of the spear of that whole movement there. She was one of it. And that's what she was famous for, okay? Unfortunately, she was also a fucking psycho, and she did commit suicide by overdosing on barbiturates, and then she also slit her wrist just to make sure, okay? So that's what she's famous for, all right? And I remember her husband because he was on she was on several TV shows, but I remember him as this bad guy named, what was his name? George Hansen on an episode of Spider-Man, the 1977 TV show Spider-Man with Nicholas Hammond. He played the villain in one episode, okay? The one where Richie Cunningham from Happy Days, where his older brother, who disappeared after the first season of Happy Days, he was in that episode also. Why am I telling you this? Because I remember her husband, okay? He played George Hansen. They spilled some fucking drug in the sink that made them all have to do what he says. Like, he can control you by spraying this mist. You're like, you have to do what he says. They also had Dolph Sweet in that episode. He was the dad on Give Me a Break. Okay, enough of that. Okay, we're talking about Sex and the City. Okay, not my childhood TV shows. All right. But anyway, yeah. So they name dropped Diane Arbus, and I remember her husband. Okay, there he goes. Now you know something you didn't know. Okay, okay. And he was on MASH. He was famous for being on MASH. Okay, and I never watched MASH. All right, so anyway, so Carrie says, like, I thought the issue was great style at any age. And Ina said, style, yes. Bride, no. Okay. So they're going to go through with this photo shoot for Vogue, all right? So Carrie has her photo shoot, of course. She's got these professional makeup people doing her makeup. They're doing her hair. They're putting her all these fucking expensive, mega fucking expensive dresses here. Now, obviously, these designers contributed money to this movie so they could highlight their work, highlight their garments and stuff, okay? Sex and the City was shameless when it came to product placement and promoting fucking outside shit, okay? A lot of these designer companies basically made their living off of the advertisement they got from Sex and the City, okay? Barney's, Manolo Blahnik, fucking Oscar de la Renta, Chanel, all those fuckers made a shitload of money off of Sex and the City, okay? And of course, they're doing it here in this scene. So of course, you got the obligatory chick flick fucking R&B pop music in the background. No, I don't know who the fuck's singing it. It's just your standard fucking chick flick R&B fucking love song in the background. Some female empowerment fucking song like they all are, okay? And Carrie has her photo shoot, dozens of expensive designer fucking wedding dresses she's wearing, okay? Stanford is there watching, and so is Charlotte, and so is Samantha. And they're all there watching Carrie try on all these different fucking garments, okay? Stanford says, when I get married, I want to dress like that, but bigger. Well, he will get married in the next movie. All right. So they start name dropping all sorts of stuff. They start showing. So basically, this scene is basically a commercial for wedding dresses. Like if you read bride magazines and shit, I know I'm a guy, so I don't read that shit. But if you watch bride magazines, these are like their best stuff for this year. This is like the 2008 fucking line is being displayed in this movie, okay, for all of you that want to watch it. And Carrie happily, I'm sure she's getting some fucking some kickbacks off of this shit. Will fucking pose in these fucking designer wedding dresses. So you've got here Vera Wang. I don't know who the fuck that is. Carolina Herrera. I also don't know who the fuck that is. Christian Lacroix. I don't know who the fuck that is. Who else we got here? Lanvin. I don't know what the fuck that is. Dwar. And I know I'm saying it wrong. You know why I'm saying it wrong? Because I'm a fucking heterosexual man. That's why I'm saying it wrong. Okay, Dwar. I do know what that is. Okay, Oscar de la Renta. Yeah, he's a fucking boxer. Of course I know who that is. I didn't know he made dresses too. Okay, and Vivian Westwood. Ooh, I don't give a shit who that is. Okay, and even Samantha starts crying when Carrie starts trying all these dresses. Okay, so Carrie comes home, and by home I mean she comes to Big's fucking apartment because, he has a much nicer place than she does. So she comes home, there. And she finds, oh, no, she does come home to her apartment. I forgot. Yeah, she just comes back to her shithole rat-infested apartment. And she comes home, and there's a big gift there for her, okay? And it's in a box that's labeled Vivienne Westwood. Ooh, the actual designer. Okay, and there's a note in there, and the note says, I saw the photo shoot. This dress belongs to you. Signed, Vivienne Westwood. And I did check the credits. Vivienne Westwood did actually write that note in the movie, okay? And she gives it to Carrie. So Carrie's like, ah! I mean, she just fucking comes like Niagara Falls. Oh, after she reads that, you can tell. Okay, that dress satisfied Carrie Bradshaw in a way that no penis ever will. Okay, yes, okay. So that happens here. Okay, she's fucking extremely orgasmic now because of the fucking dress. It is the dress that she tried on. I think it was the last one she tried on during the photo shoot, and now it's hanging there in her fucking closet. So of course she's fucking gonna jerk off till fucking the sun goes up. All right, the next scene here, she's in bed with Big. Okay, and she's reading a hardback novel. Yeah, that she checked out from the library. Yeah, we used to do that. We used to go to the library and check out books. All right, so she checked one out. The title of the book is called Love Letters of Great Men. And of course, Big asks her, what are you reading that for? You know, that's an old book. She's like, yeah, it's about almost as old as you. You know, because she's always making jokes about how old he is. Hey, bitch, this is your boyfriend, all right? You've always known that he's a good fucking 10 years, well, maybe not 10 years, like a good like 4 or 5 years older than you, okay? Maybe 7 years, I don't know. Okay, I think when they first met, Carrie was 30, what was she? Okay, Carrie was 34 in the first episode of Sex and the City, and he was like 40. So yeah, he's a good 6 years older than you, okay? Yeah, and you chose that, okay? So quit making fun of his age, all right? What happens when you're his age? They're gonna make fun of you, right? Okay, so anyway, that's going on. It's Love Letters of Great Men. So Carrie's like, some of your classmates are in here, you know, like Voltaire and Napoleon. Which, okay, that was funny. I thought that was funny. So I was knocking his age. Okay. She did that all throughout the show, too. She was making fun of how old he was. Remember when she made fun of his records? Remember? Moon River? She's like, oh my God, how old are you? He's like, my parents sang that song. That was my parents' record, not mine. Okay, so Carrie's like, here's Napoleon. And she starts reading Napoleon. My dearest Josephine, awake consumed with thoughts of you. And Napoleon was a better conqueror than he was a poet, okay? And this is, and what was weird for me is this is the same what she's doing right now, reading fucking poetry to her lover, okay, is the same fucking bullshit that she complained about her ex-boyfriend Alexander Petrovsky, the Mad Russian. He did shit like this, and she complained about it because she thought it was fucking stupid. So how the fuck did she find it romantic now? This is one of the gripes she had with her ex-boyfriend, was he would read her poetry. And she's like, oh, but this is way too much for me. I'm an American. You got to bring it down a notch. Okay? Yeah, exactly. Now she's doing it. Go figure, right? Okay? This is the shit she didn't like about Alexander Petrovsky. Okay? So Big's like, well, hey, typical short guy. He gives it all away up front, why are you reading this? And she says, I'm doing it for research. For the new book that I'm writing. Okay? It's about what to do after you found love. What's next? And Big says, well, what is next? And she's like, you have to stay tuned. So she starts reading some more out of the fucking stupid ass book. Okay? And she goes, you have to wait to find out. And go, oh, look, here's Beethoven. Okay? And then she starts reading some Beethoven shit. Now, Beethoven was fucking deaf. Okay? He couldn't even hear himself fucking playing his music. All right? But he's like, hey, my thoughts go out to you, my immortal beloved. Yes, that's the movie with what's his name? Gary Oldman played Beethoven in that movie called Immortal Beloved. Look it up. It's a good flick. Okay, he's like, my thoughts go out to you, my immortal beloved. I can live only wholly with you or not at all. Blah, 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 blah. Ever thine, ever mine, ever ours. And then she's like, how come you've never written me poetry? Once again, it's the same shit she complained about Alexander. Alexander was always writing her fucking little love letters all the fucking time. And she thought it was fucking stupid. Because it is. And now she's going to complain to Big that he doesn't fucking write her love letters. Well, he's like, well, I'm pretty sure I sent you a love fax. You know, I said, no, you didn't. He said, well, maybe my secretary must have done it at least once. And he's like, look, babe, it's not my style, okay? Those guys there, they were separated by wars and hundreds of miles, okay? This is what they had to do to fucking keep their women, is send them fucking love letters, which is fucking true, okay? I mean, that's where romance was invented. It was invented in the Middle Ages from warfare. You know, soldiers and knights had to go off to fight, so they would write letters back to their maidens, okay, or their wives. And the women would get these letters, and then they would compare with each other who had the best, hottest fucking letters. Because there was no fucking vibrators back then. Well, there was, but no batteries back then. So they had to compare with each other who had the best letters. So it became like a competition amongst women. Who had the most romantic letters they sent me, you know? And that's where romance came from. It came from that. Who wrote the best letters? You know, sparkle the imagination. You know, get them all fucking wet. Yeah, I know, right? Weird. But anyway, that's where it came from. But we don't do that shit no more, okay? It's gone. It's dead. Nobody does that shit anymore. Nobody wants to do that shit anymore. Even girls don't want that shit anymore. That's like your grandma's shit right there. Okay. So that's going on here, and Big's blah, blah, blah. So Big tells, not my style, blah, 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 you know, hundreds of miles away. And Sherry's like, yeah. He's like, you know, people were separated by wars, okay, and hundreds of miles. He goes like, meanwhile, me, Carrie, I'm right here. I don't have to do that stuff, okay? And you make me happy, Carrie, okay? And any other scene that I'm going to be in, I'm going to give you that validation about how you're fucking incredible and how you mean the world to me. And I'm so happy every time I'm with you. I mean, I get hard just fucking smelling your farts. That's how much you mean to me, Carrie, okay? Make sure you know that every fucking scene that we're in, okay? I have to tell you how fucking wonderful and great you are. And if every once in a while, if you feel like it, you can tell me that I'm pretty cool too. But mostly I'm going to tell you how fucking great and you're the most beautiful woman in the world. And I can't fucking live without you. And if you want that fucking pen, I will buy it for you right now. I'll buy you whatever the fuck you want. You know why? Because I love you and the most incredible woman that ever fucking existed in the whole fucking world. And if you want me to fucking slit my wrist for you, I'll fucking gladly do it right now. And I'll get the knife myself, okay? Yeah, exactly. That's basically what's going on here. I don't know, what do they do to Big? Oh yeah, I remember. Gay Guys wrote this movie. I forgot. Okay, so that's going on here. And Carrie's like, yeah, put it in writing. I know she's just joking here, but come on. I mean, you know, no, he didn't write you a fucking love letter. He did not do that. But you know what he did do, though? He bought you a fucking multi-million-dollar fucking penthouse. And he built you a huge fucking closet for your fucking shoes. And he takes you out to the finest restaurants in fucking New York. He buys you a shitload of fucking gifts. You don't pay for jack fucking shit. So if it were me, if I were you, Carrie, I'd kind of be a little bit grateful. I wouldn't harp so much about that. You never sent me any love letters, ever. I wouldn't be doing that, okay? I wouldn't. Okay, but apparently, you know, she will, all right? Okay, moving right along. So Carrie goes to the library to return some books. They're overdue, so she's going to have to pay a fine. And while she's there, she notices some caterers that are trying to move stuff. Apparently, there's going to be a wedding there at the library. So Carrie decides to go up the stairs and check it out to see where this wedding is going to be, and she falls in love with it. She falls in love with the architecture. She falls in love with the fucking, the Michelangelo, the faux Michelangelo painting on top there in the ceiling. So she decides that she wants to have her wedding there. That's gonna be her venue, is the New York Library. And she's a writer, so it makes sense, okay? Of course, she didn't ask Big if he wanted to be there, but since when the fuck does what Big want matter, right? He just wants Carrie. That's all that fucking matters, right? Of course it is. I totally believe that, okay? So that's going on. She decides that that's where it's going to be, okay? So she loves it, and she's going to have her wedding there. Okay, meanwhile, Miranda, Steve, and Magda, and Brady, who's 5 years old, they're all at an Italian restaurant, and they're eating, okay? And they're eating at the restaurant. Okay, and Miranda complains about the waiter being slow to drop the check. Okay, and Steve's like, Miranda, relax. Magda hasn't even finished eating her food yet. And Miranda's like, I still have briefs to do when I get home. And Magda, Brady needs to go to the bathroom, so Magda gets up and takes Brady to the bathroom, okay? So now Steve and Miranda have a little bit of privacy, okay? And Steve's like, you can't let the hard-working nanny finish her supper? And Miranda's like, I'm exhausted, Steve. Brady woke me up at 5 a.m. this morning. Well, yeah, I mean, he woke me up too. You know, maybe we shouldn't let him sleep in our bed anymore. Okay. And he tells her that she's got some cappuccino foam on her because she swigs her fucking cappuccino. So she gets some white foam all over her face. And Steve tells her that. And she's like, you're always criticizing me. And Steve's like, I am not. You want to go through life with foam on your lip and no one telling you? And then he does the same thing. He gets foam all over himself and he goes, is there something you want to tell me? Is there something you want to tell me? You know, exactly. And so that makes her smile. So they end up kissing. And then the very next scene, they're fucking. Okay, they're going at it here. They're doing it missionary, which is kind of boring. But okay, it's good for starters, okay? So they're starting off, okay? Now, I'm going to raise the bullshit flag here because they're both wearing fucking t-shirts. Who the fucking wears their clothes when they're fucking in bed, okay? They're in the privacy of their own house. They're in their own fucking bedroom. Who the fuck keeps their t-shirts on during sex? Okay, nobody. Nobody does that, but they're always doing that for some reason. I don't know why. The only one that ever gets totally naked is Samantha. The rest of them always keep their clothes on when they're having sex, which is just bullshit. For a show called Sex and the City, it's not realistic sex. But anyway, so they're fucking, you know, and all of a sudden Steve decides he wants to switch it up a bit. He wants to try a different position. Me personally, I'd go doggy, but he wants to go with her on top. Okay, cowgirl. So so he asks her, hey, no, don't come yet. No, get on top of me real quick. Come on. She's like, no, let's just get it over with. And he's like, well, get it over with. You know? He's like, we don't ever have sex. And you're telling me to just get it over with? You know? And she's like, wait, Steve, I got to get up in 4.5 hours. He's like, we never have sex. She's like, yeah, we had, when was the last time we had sex? The last time we had sex, there was snow on the ground. And he gets up and he walks away from her. Okay? And we get a big, nice shot of his ass. Okay, for the ladies out there. Okay, you get to see fucking Steve's ass. Okay? I didn't need to see it, but they fucking showed it there. Okay? It's a chick movie. Okay? So they got to show off his ass. All right? Big fucking deal. All right, so he walks away with his ass. I guess he walks into the living room or something where Magda and fucking Brady are, just, you know, bottomless. He's got a shirt on, but nothing on the bottom. I don't fucking know. Okay, so now Miranda's pissed off, okay? So, of course, she goes to the diner the next day and complains about it to her girlfriends. And Samantha's still there. She's still in town. Okay, and she's like, you know, she says, and of course Lily's there, who's only 3 years old. She's there coloring her coloring book. Okay, the Asian, that's Charlotte's Asian daughter. Okay, she's there, and Miranda says, how often do you have sex? Okay, and Charlotte's like, oh my God, Miranda, she's only 3 years old. Don't say that. You know? She repeats things. And Samantha, of course, who fucking loves kids, says, if I knew Girl Talk would be on lockdown, I wouldn't have flown 3,000 miles. Okay, so they agree to use the word coloring instead of using the word sex. Okay, so Samantha says, she's like, well, when was the last time? How often do you color, Samantha? She's like, I can't color enough. All day, every day. And I'll use every crayon in my box. There's something in your box, okay? And I'm pretty sure it's alive. Okay, Miranda tells them what happened. You know, Steve complained that she just wanted to get it over with, and that turned him off. You know, and she's like, well, what? So he wanted to go longer. Why is that a problem? You know, and she says like, it's a problem because I have a full-time job. And Samantha says like, I have a full-time job. And Miranda's like, yeah, but you don't have a 5-year-old, play dates, PTA meetings, and a mother-in-law in a rest home with first stages of Alzheimer's. I'm just going through a coloring phase. It comes and goes, right? They're like, And Charlotte's like, Harry and I, we color 2 to 3 times a week. Miranda says like, it's been 6 months. But it's just a dry spell, that's all. And Charlotte says like, Carrie, what about you and Big? Come on, I told you. She's like, and Carrie says, when it comes to coloring, he rarely stays inside the lines. Now, I have absolutely no fucking idea what that means. Okay, why don't you just tell? I mean, we never see fucking Carrie having sex with Big. We see the other characters having sex. We never see Carrie having sex with Big. Why is that? All right, so Carrie comes home, and by home I mean fucking Big's place, because this place is a lot nicer than hers. And she starts screaming, John, where are you? John, she says John. Okay, this is the first time I can remember her using his real name. Okay, because all the scenes in the show, when Big was there, she never called him by his real name. She always called him, hey, it's me, where are you? She would never say John. She would never say his actual name. And of course, when she talked about him to her girlfriend, she always called him Big. And they always referred to him as Big. They never referred to him by his real name either. So yeah, it's weird for her to say John, because when she said John for a second there, I didn't know who she was talking about. But anyway, John Big is there. He's in a suit for whatever reason. Maybe he just got home from work, even though it's nighttime. And they start making out, and they decide to fuck. We don't see it. We just see them making out. All right. So that's going on here. Meanwhile, Samantha is at her beachside, is that back in LA. She has a house on the beach there, and she's on her porch, laying there with a towel around her head, her sunglasses, okay? And then Smith arrives with this fucking big fucking hard-on, okay? He's wearing his briefs, and he's got a hard-on that's sticking out. And Samantha was on the phone, but she's like, I gotta let you go. Something just came up. All right, and she fucking grabs it, and it's not a hard-on, okay? It's a little box, okay? It's a little package here, and she opens it, and he told her, I got something here for you, and she opens it, and it's the fucking ring. This is the ring that was at the auction, the one the model was auctioning all the gifts that her billionaire boyfriend gave her before he dumped her ass, okay? And then she made all this fucking money off. This ring, I mean, he bought her this ring. Okay, he was the guy on the other end of the phone at the auction when they were there in New York. Okay, and he spent $60,000 on this fucking ring. It's a flower ring with diamonds in it. Okay, it's the one that Samantha really wanted. Well, she let him know when she saw the catalog that she wanted it. He remembered it, so that's why he bid for it against her in New York, and he got it. She was only willing to go 50 grand, but he went 60 grand and got the ring. She did not know it was him that was doing it. So now she opens it, and it's for her. Okay. It's her diamond flower ring that she wanted. Okay. And Samantha's like, I was going to buy this for myself. He's like, yeah, I know, but I knew how much you wanted it. And so I bought it for you, for our anniversary. That's right. It was 5 years ago today that we first met. Well, she obviously didn't remember. Okay. And Samantha's like, I love it as long as it's a ring with diamonds and not a diamond ring. It's my second most favorite thing to come out of that underwear. Now, I have a gift for you as well, but mine is a little more oral. And she's like, and he's like, oh, babe. No, I can't. I gotta get some sleep. Get some sleep. It's only 7:30. Well, yeah, but I gotta be at the set to film my TV show at 6 a.m. and I gotta get a workout in before I get there. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go to sleep right now. She's like, that's how it starts. First you go to sleep, and then we only have sex 3 or 4 times a week. Okay, so that's going on here. So anyway, so he goes to sleep, right? While he's asleep, Samantha's in her fucking jacuzzi outside on her porch in her beach house, and she hears people fucking. Well, she turns around, and the house that looks just like hers, right next to her, they don't have any curtains in that house, okay? So you can see everything from wherever you're standing. It's just glass walls that you can see right through easily. Very transparent, okay? And there's a naked couple in there fucking, okay? There's some dude in there who's fucking Monica Mayhem, okay? And yes, I did recognize that girl in this scene. That is Monica Mayhem, the fucking porn star, okay? Yes, I knew who she was. I recognized that fucking tattoo anywhere, okay? And that ass, okay? Yes, that's Monica Mayhem, and he's fucking her, but he's not really fucking her. I've seen her getting really fucked, but no, this is just obviously, this is just pretend fucking. but Samantha's right there. All she had to do really was turn her head, and she can see them fucking right there. Okay. Now, even though this couple is maybe 20, 25 feet away, it's not very far. Okay. And like I said, there's no curtains there. Okay. The windows are clearly see-through. The door is clearly see-through. You can see everything. Okay, you don't have to sneak around. You just look in that direction and you'll see them fucking completely, okay? Like I said, they're only 20, 25 feet away, and Samantha is just watching them fuck. Watching this guy fuck this girl, okay? And they are completely oblivious that there's a woman there in the fucking hot tub, okay, 20 feet away from them that's watching them fuck, okay? And they are fucking loudly. Monica's making a lot of fucking noise, all right? It's like, no, it's bullshit, okay? They put that in there because it's like a sexy scene, because we know Samantha would, and the women who watch this movie are going to get turned on by some good-looking guy fucking a much better-looking girl, in my opinion, okay? But that doesn't change the fact, okay, that it's completely unfucking believable, okay? If people would be having sex like this, private sex, okay, they wouldn't do it with no curtains, okay? They wouldn't do that, all right? They would have a little bit of privacy, okay? It's so fucking obvious. All they gotta do is look over there, and they'll see a woman just like watching them the whole fucking time. No, that's not realistic. That is bullshit. I'm raising the bullshit flag right fucking there. That would never happen in real life, okay? If I was having sex with somebody and all I had to do was go like this, and I would see a woman 20 feet away from me watching me, I'll probably move or fucking close the curtains or something, okay? No, I'm not fucking for your viewing pleasure, okay? It's for my pleasure, not yours. Okay, anyway. So that's bullshit. So Samantha decides that she's going to do this every fucking night. While Smith is getting his beauty rest, she's going to be in the jacuzzi, maybe playing with herself, I don't know, and watching this guy fuck a different girl, because apparently he can do that. I don't know who this guy is or what he does for a living, but being good looking alone is not enough to get you to fuck a bunch of porn stars every fucking night. You got to either have a lot of money or you got to sell a lot of good fucking drugs, the underground kind, to pull that kind of fucking ass. And he's not a celebrity, so my best guess is he's probably a drug dealer, but who the fuck knows? All right. Because drug dealers do get laid. A lot. All right. So who knows? Okay. So yeah. So that's what she starts to do. It's going to be like her regular thing every night, is just watching him fuck a different girl or several different girls at the same time. Okay. Like I said, I call bullshit on that. Okay. Meanwhile, Big takes Carrie, Blake blindfolds her and takes her back to the penthouse apartment. And there's a lot of construction stuff there. So obviously people have been working in this apartment. They've been doing some sort of construction in this apartment. Apparently it's ready now. So he takes her in there. Okay. And then he opens up the closet in the bedroom. Okay. And when she opens up the closet, it is a huge fucking closet. Okay. It looks like a department store inside. It really does. It looks like a posh, high-end fucking New York, downtown New York, Manhattan department store. That is what her closet looks like. Her wall closet. Okay, unfucking believable. It looks like a showroom. Like a fucking Manolo Blahniks or Prada showroom. That's what her closet looks like, okay? I mean, it must have cost millions of dollars just to build that closet. But Big did it for her without even blinking. He just said, hey, I can build you a bigger closet. And he did. Where this space came from, I don't fucking know. What was in all that unoccupied space before, I don't fucking know, but apparently he did it. So of course Carrie's excited. So maybe now she'll get a little bit moist for him, okay? Because he actually spent, who knows, hundreds of thousands of dollars at least to get a fucking a showroom like fucking closet built into their fucking penthouse apartment. Yeah, he did it for her. So she decides to christen it by putting a pair of her blue Manolo Blahniks on the shelf right there. Okay, and of course she's happy about that. All right. Meanwhile, the girls are helping Carrie box up everything, box up all of her stuff. Okay, and Samantha arrives. I guess she flies back in from fucking LA to help them box up all of her stuff. Okay, and she brings 2 bottles of champagne. So the girls are all like, ah! Okay, so they're all excited now. So they're gonna get drunk, and Lily's there, the 3-year-old Asian girl, Sean's daughter, is there also with these older, middle-aged, drunk women while they're boxing up shit. And they decide that they're gonna do some fucking closet modeling, runway modeling. Okay, so they try on all these fucking old clothes that Carrie has, and they strut around drunk as shit. And the girls get like a piece of paper that says either to take it, to either keep it, take it, or toss it. Okay, so in other words, take this dress with them to the new place or throw it away. Okay, so she tries on all this fucking shit and does they're all their runway models and shit. Like they're runway models, which they're not. Carrie already tried it. Remember, she fell right on her fucking face when she tried it for real. Okay, but they're drunk and shit. Okay, so they do a little closet runway show. Okay, take or toss. Okay, one of the things they decide to take is the fucking tutu that she wears in the opening credits for every episode of Sex and the City. You know, that pink fucking top and the white fucking ballerina tutu. Yeah, she wears that on again, and then the girls tell her, keep it, take that with you. Okay, so they do, and then of course they all get fucking drunk, even though they're fucking supposed to be babysitting a 3-year-old girl. Okay, and they all decide to get in on the action. Okay, so they take turns doing their own runway or closet modeling show. Okay, so there you got fucking Miranda goes up there in a cat outfit, like Yes, Miranda did fucking do that. Watch that scene again. She actually does that. Like she wasn't ugly enough to begin with. No, she's got to do that too. She got to do her best fucking impersonation of Cheetah from Wonder Woman. Okay, and then of course Charlotte decides to dress up like a fucking gangster hippie. Yeah, no, she doesn't pull that off either. Okay, and then Samantha goes up, and Samantha does like a burlesque show. And I'm gonna say this right now, okay? I'm gonna say this right now, okay? Out of all the 4 girls that were modeling here, that were doing their stupid ass runway show while they're all listening to fucking to Run DMC. Walk This Way. Yeah, that's the song that was playing in the background. Walk This Way with Run DMC. Out of all the women that were doing this, Samantha's was the sexiest. I gotta admit, Samantha had the sexiest thing going on there. Okay, she opens the door halfway, sticks her leg on it, does the the thing, and she does her, and that was sexy. Okay, I don't know how Kim Cattrall pulled it off because she's fucking 50 years old here, or 49, about to be 50 in a few months, and she pulled off the sexiest fucking runway walk out of all 4 of them. That turned me on. I couldn't believe it. Oh my God, Kim Cattrall still got it. That was hot. What she did was fucking hot. I couldn't believe it. She's the oldest one there, and that's the one that fucking got me going. Was Kim Cattrall? Go figure. Samantha lived up to her name right there in that scene. She was the hottest one. She did the sexiest dance in that whole fucking little vintage montage right there. She had the sexiest one. So kudos to you, Kim Cattrall. You still got it. Well, you did. It's 2008. You had it back then. I don't know what you have it now, but you had it back then in 2008. And of course, all this detracts from the fact that they're fucking supposed to be babysitting a 3-year-old, and they're all fucking shit-faced drunk. Okay, and then they let the little girl fucking model too, and the less said about that, the better. Okay, so I'm gonna end. So it ends with it took 4 friends 3 days to put 20 years into 38 boxes. Okay, and then they do a group hug. All right, and that's the segue into the next scene. Okay, Carrie decides to look around her apartment for the last time. It's empty now. She unplugs her laptop off the floor, takes that with her, does one final look at her apartment, and then